The award-winning journalist Jacques Poe says during Sunday sermons, the afflicted line up at TB Joshua's Synagogue Church of All Nations, holding up placards stating what condition they are suffering from. There were lines of people seeking a cure for HIV/AIDS, cancer, heart conditions, business failures, and dull brains. Poe says Joshua prayed for every person in the line and declared them all healed. He ordered them to stop using any medication and trust in God. What makes people believe men and women like TB Joshua can cure HIV/AIDS? My guests are Daily Mavericks Africa correspondent Simon Allison and Archbishop Stephen Zondo of the Rivers of Living Waters Ministries. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Archbishop Stephen Zondo, let me start with you. I mean, from everything I'm reading about Prophet TB Joshua, this is about the money, isn't it?
No, sir.
Why not?
It's about propagating the gospel of Jesus Christ.
And TB Joshua is not doing that. TB Joshua is collecting a lot of money and becoming one of the top people listed in Forbes magazine.
Well, I don't know about collecting money, but have you ever seen him giving money out? Helping the poor. You have never seen that. You must keep on watching that.
Does he give money out?
Yes, he does.
But he collects a lot more.
If you give, then you get. That's what you need to understand.
Oh, so you know, all these people giving out money, you mean that they are...
The more you give, the more you get.
From where? He's not working for
from
it. He's
people.
taking from the poor.
Everybody takes from the poor. Just like you now sitting here, you are earning from the poor.
I'm not earning from the poor. I'm earning from E-News
no,
channel.
we pay licenses.
No, the licenses have nothing to do with ETV. That's SABC. But let's talk about that. Don't you think it is about the money? Because many pastors of this nature have become extremely wealthy, and people are beginning to ask, is this about the money?
It's not about...
Think about Mr. TB Joshua. He's on the Forbes list. He's number 3, worth $15 million.
I've never read that. I don't know about it. But
no, it's true. I can tell you. Simon's read it, haven't you,
yes.
Simon?
No, it's okay.
Is it about the money,
to tell you
Simon?
that is that it's not wrong for anybody to be wealthy. The reason why Jesus Christ went to the cross and died, he died so that the poor will be rich.
Archbishop Stephen Zondo, I put it to you that actually it's wrong for someone to be rich off the back of poor people.
No, I'm not saying that he's taking people's money, because I've never heard him saying, poor people, bring me money.
Okay, let's not talk about TB Joshua. Let's talk about charismatic churches like your own.
Yes.
Is it about people come there and they think, if I give, then I will get in my life?
No. What I know is that when you sow a seed, the seed will produce crops and you'll grow.
Why would I believe that giving money on a Sunday to your church or to TB Joshua's church or any other church is me sowing a seed? It's me putting money in your pocket.
It's not only to the church. You can also give to other NGOs anyway. You can even help to the poor person on the street, or you can help the destitute children. When you give, you will get. But that's a principle.
Simon Allison, you've reported on these churches all across the continent. You've reported on other issues, wars and all sorts. Is this about the money?
I've got to say it looks that way. When you see these charismatic pastors, particularly in Nigeria, flying around their private jets, and you see the state of the people of Nigeria, you know, the poverty that is endemic to that country, and you just wonder, there's a disconnect. You don't expect, when you read the Bible, that a man of God would be a multi-millionaire. This just does not ring true.
Now, when you say a man of God should not drive, if you are a man of God and you are that man of that God, so I think you're supposed to be better. Because the reason why Jesus Christ died, he died for the people to be better. The reason why some of our fathers in this country went to exile, they went out so that we can become better in life.
Yes,
not to take people's money. I don't believe that pastors take people's money and say, give me your money. If they do that, they are wrong.
But they become very rich from people giving them the money.
And Archbishop, surely by that logic, people like Bill Gates are even more holy then, because they have even more money.
They give and they have more money. If
they
you can start giving,
they produce something.
They produce something. I believe so. Most of these pastors that you're talking about, they produce books. Some of them, they have their own publishing industries. They are doing that. They are creating jobs. Have you seen that? I've seen one of the churches in Nigeria. The pastor owned a university. You understand
the pastors also own, the biggest debate in December 2012 in Nigeria was who has the bigger private jet.
Well, you know, I believe that if you do have money, you can buy whatever you want.
Let's take this away. A person of the Lord should, all of us believe that should lead a humble life. Isn't that so?
All of us, we have to be humble. All of us. Whether you're a politician, businessman,
but the
as a
people
human
of God seem to be living the high life with the private jets in Nigeria in particular.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but if I can have an opportunity to have a private jet, I'll be grateful.
To who?
To me and to my people. And I believe that the Africans, they can be happy to see one of the South Africans having his own private jet. If God give me that ability to have that, I will have it.
Don't you think you're profiting off the misery? Desperate people, we had Professor Somadota Fikeni here, saying desperate people looking for answers. They get on a plane, take their life savings, go to TB Joshua's son. Those are desperate people.
Let me just correct that. The people that went to TB Joshua, they were not only the poor people, the people that can afford to go on the plane, and others were doctors, others are presidents, others are kings.
And most of them are poor.
No, those kings were not poor. Zwelithini went there.
Most of the people who have gone there are poor people. The Julius Malemas, the Zwelithinis, the Van der Westhuizens, those are just a few of the top-notch people. Most of the people who go there are poor.
So if Zwelithini saw it was good for him to go there because he needed something else, even the poor people saw that he can get there something else. It's up to those people.
So you think he got something out of it?
Yes.
Sam and Allison, let's talk about the claims that are made by some of these church leaders, not yourself, Archbishop Stephen Zondo, but some of the church leaders. For example, disease is cured. You know, claims that TB Joshua spent 15 months in the womb or something like that. Yes. What do you make of these?
Look, I don't want to offend the good Archbishop here, but from an outside perspective, it's hard to take these claims seriously. You know, part of TB Joshua's fortune is derived from selling of holy water, which, as far as I can tell, is just water. And it seems like these are, you know, smoke and mirror tricks designed to confuse and misdirect people who are genuinely looking for solutions to their problems.
Can a human being cure? Can a priest like yourself, like TB Joshua, can they cure HIV/AIDS or cancer?
No priest cure anybody,
so
including myself.
TB Joshua is a prophet who has claimed that he can do
No. Since I listened to TB Joshua, he never said, I'm a healer. He said, I'm a servant. That's what I've listened to him.
Do you think that people have
times.
gone to him and been cured of HIV and AIDS?
Because they claim so.
And then they die afterwards because they're off their medication.
I have never heard him saying people should not take their medication. Let me talk about myself this time. When a person comes to me and say, I'm sick, pray for me, I lay hands on him believing that God will heal a person. And I will tell the person, take your medication. It's only the medical doctor who will declare you healed, not me. Because I'm
Pastor
not a
Prophet TB Joshua told people, stop taking your medicine, you're cured.
I don't know about that. I've never heard him say that.
He says it in Jacques Pauw's documentary.
Okay, I never
Okay.
I don't know that.
Well, very good. So people, South Africans go to Nigeria, Simon. They congregate, an accident happens, or this building collapses on the Friday. We in South Africa start waking up to this issue 5 days later. Several days delay. Claims, then Prophet Joshua comes up and says, oh, you know, it was a plane, it was Boko Haram. What's going on here?
Well, I mean, just complete confusion, first of all. I mean, TB Joshua's claims that these planes were flying around, dropping chemicals onto the building that somehow corroded the foundations, and the vibrations from the plane knocked it down. It's just ridiculous. And the fact that he is trying to blame Boko Haram, bringing this Islamist terrorist group into it, this worries me on two levels. Firstly, he is clearly trying to deflect from any personal blame. He's trying to avoid taking responsibility himself. Secondly, Nigeria, the religious tensions in Nigeria are already very dangerous. And what TB Joshua is doing is further inflaming these tensions without any real grounds for that. I mean, if Boko Haram really wanted to blow up something, they'd probably just put a bomb in it. They're very good at that. They're not as good at dropping chemicals from planes.
Will the Nigerian government act against him, given that he's quite good friends with President Goodluck Jonathan?
Well, this is a huge election issue for Goodluck Jonathan. There are elections, I believe they're next year. Goodluck Jonathan is in a somewhat precarious position because there is a new opposition alliance that is really threatening the ruling party's dominance. And now this has happened. And there's going to be two competing things. One is going to be the TB Joshua and his supporters saying, well, you know, it wasn't our fault. You can't hold us accountable. The second is going to be from all the people that are not followers of TB Joshua or in that sort of charismatic Christian community saying, come now, this guy did something wrong. He needs to be held to account.
Archbishop Stephen Zondo, has what happened in Nigeria, hurt your church and the many other charismatic churches in South Africa and elsewhere, and their reputation?
Not only the church, countries, people, our communities are hurt.
What about your reputation and the reputations of many who now sit up and say, for myself particularly, I would say, gee, someone who says they can cure HIV and AIDS when we've been fighting it for 30 years?
What I can say is that this is an accident.
We don't know. Perhaps the building, it wasn't an accident. People who built that building should have built it properly.
I think that we have to wait for the investigation to take place. In this country, how many buildings fell? Just recently, it fell here in Meyersdal. The malls fall in this country. So I strongly believe that this is an accident. Let us wait for the investigations. Then we can...
One last question to you before I go to Simon. Why are people going to Nigeria instead of coming to your church in Everton and the other churches in this country?
I cannot tell you, I cannot specifically say, give you the answer, like the straight answer. But I believe people themselves, they choose whom they believe and whom they want to follow. I cannot control that.
Simon, Allison, should TB Joshua, he says he's coming to this country to mourn with the people of this country. Should he be allowed in this country?
Yes. There are no grounds currently to not allow him into this country. And I think that were he to come here, it's a really good chance for South Africans to examine him up close and personal. I think it's a great chance for, you know, if he gives an address, we're all going to be listening to that address. And we're going to be watching him, and I'm hoping that the journalists of this country, of course they will, they'll be asking him very tough questions. I hope they get the opportunity to do so. And I think it'll also give the chance for our government to ask him some very tough questions, put him under a bit of pressure.
Archbishop Stephen Zondo, you get the last word. Should TB Joshua be allowed into South Africa to come?
Yes, sir.
Why?
He's our brother, our black brother.
He may, but 84 of our black brothers and sisters and children have died.
He did not kill them. It was an accident.
Archbishop Stephen Zondo, Simon Allison, thanks so much for your time. It's been lovely
welcome,
chatting to you.
Thank you.
After the break, our winner and loser of the week. Stay with us.